Alright guys, welcome to SIP-COMSYS. Alright, today I'm going to show you how to install WDS, that's Windows Deployment Service. Okay, so I can actually have the video in 2 sessions or 3 sessions depending on how much information I have to give to you, right? So um, let's see how we can set up WDS, and then from there we'll see how we can actually do the imaging and then installation. All right, so let's get down to it. Okay, all right, so what you need is your domain controller. Okay, if you don't know how to install domain controller, I have it in my previous video, so you can check it out. Then you need to create a member server as well, so let me just log into my domain controller. And then this is my server here, so let me close this. New click on the start menu, so you can go to server manager or you can go to administrative tools, any of them you know. So if you have Active Directory, domain users and computers, let me click that. Okay, so since I have this tells me I have my domain controller. So start Windows administrative tools. Let me go towards DNS. So you can see I have, this is my domain controller, right? So the next thing is to go to my second server, which I'll be making it a member server. I'll be installing DHCP here. Okay, even though I've done that in the previous session, this time around I'm going to move faster than that. Okay, so start server manager. So I'm going to assign an IP. Okay, all this I'm going to do them real quick. If you don't know how to do this, I have all this in my previous video. Okay, so I need to provide my domain credential so that this server can be a member server of the COMSYS domain. Okay, so now this is going to restart and then we'll see. So you can see this server is part of this domain, showing the computer account here, right? Okay, so let me log in with the domain credential, right? Oh. Okay, so what I have to do here is just go straight to adding roles and features, which I'm going to add my DHCP here because it's required, right? So DHCP is required. So we have to wait for it to finish installation. Okay, so as this comes here, I need to complete DHCP configuration. Click here. Next, I need to admit this is the domain which is going to the credential which is going to manage this. So commit, then close. And I can close this as well. Let me just refresh. Choose DHCP. And then let me expand this. So I have to create scope. So right click, new scope. Next, so SIP-COMSYS DHCP. So that's the name. So my starting IP, so 192.168. Sorry, 192.168.4.1, and then my ending IP 4.254, and then next, exclude. Yes, I would like to exclude some IP here. So let's say 245, and then the ending 192.168.4.254. Add, and then X. Let me maintain the 8 days next, and then I'm going for option. Yep. So do I have a gateway? I don't have one. Yes, I have DNS, so let me maintain this. That's my DNS. Next, wins I don't have, and then finish. Done. So here I only have to refresh, and then you can see my scope is created, right? Very nice. I'm done with creating my scope. All right. So now let's get to the important thing here. Okay, so what we have to do here is install the WDS, right? Now before then, you need a drive where you would like to keep your images. You don't like to, it's not advisable, right, to see, you see, it's not advisable to keep your images on the C. So what I'll do here is I'm going to add an additional drive to this virtual machine, and then I'm going to format and then create a volume, right? So let's see how to add additional. So I'll just right clicking off the tab on the virtual machine, or I can go to what do you call VM, and then go to settings, right? So you can see whatever I do here affects my VM currently. So I'm going to go for add. So I'm going to add a hard disk drive. Next, next, next. Like, if you don't know much about virtualization, I have video on that as well, so you can check out on that. So next, next, and then done. So as you can see, I've added. So let me go to my disk management. Right click, go to disk management, my VM. So you can see this is the hard drive I just added. Online, and then initialize. Okay. So I need to create a simple volume for this. Next, next, next. So I name this WDS. Okay, Windows Deployment Service. Next, and then finish. Okay, so this is where I'll be keeping my images, because if I should click on this PC, I have C and I have E. This is where I'll be keeping what my WDS images. It's not advisable to be on the what C. Okay, close that. Now let me install my role. I'll go to what, add roles and features. next, next, next. Then now I'll look for Windows deployment service. Okay, so I click this. So I'm going for add features. So next, next, next. Okay, so these two actually, if these two are ticked, just maintain the default. Don't check anything, just go for next. Now I'll take this if the system requires to restart. It should restart. So I'm going for install. Okay, so installation is done. All right. Okay, close. Let me refresh this. Okay, so if you can see here on my first server, I have let me open my server manager. So on my first server, I have my ADDS DNS installed here. So on the second server, now I have my DHCP and WDS installed. It's not advisable to install the WDS on the domain controller. It's never advisable. That is why I have my second server to do that. But if you don't have enough resources to practice this, then you can install everything on one server just for you to have the feel of how to practice this. Okay, so let me go to my second server here, tools, and then look for Windows deployment service. This is it. So I can close this. So let me expand this. So let me click on this and then come. So you can see Windows deployment service is not configured. So we'll see how to configure this in our next video, right? So watch out for part 2 of this video. See you guys. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, right? Thank you.